I'm going to show you a little tool that in my Evolutionary Astrology, which I've learnt, and you can look at your chart this way as well and see what you come up with. But the thing that we would need to know would be the archetypes and the houses, what the houses mean. You know, the first house is Aries, the second house is Taurus, the third house is Gemini, the fourth house is Cancer, the fifth house is Leo, the sixth house is Virgo, the seventh house is Libra, the eighth house is Scorpio, the ninth house is Sagittarius, and the 10th house is Capricorn, and the 11th house is Aquarius, and the 12th house is Pisces. Now, what we've got when we have a birth time, and you can see there that I was born on the 21st of May, 1966, up here at 8:30 p.m. So what we have is that we will then, because of the time and date of birth and place, we then have our rising sign. So my rising sign is 27 degrees Taurus, 27 degrees Scorpio. Now, what we would do is, as a simple example, we can see then that my first house is Scorpio, my second house is Capricorn, my third house is Aquarius, and my fourth house is Pisces, and my fifth house is Aries, as an example, that you go all the way around the chart, and where you can see that we have intercepted, that's where my intercepted chart, my house begins Scorpio, second house Capricorn, so that's what you're looking at. And you can go deeper on this stuff, but this is just another tool to add to understanding astrology. So if we take, for instance, let's take, first of all, we're going to take Neptune, and my Neptune is in Scorpio, and the ruler of Scorpio is Pluto, and my Pluto is in Virgo, and the ruler of Virgo is my Mercury, and my Mercury is in Taurus, and the ruler of Taurus is Venus, and then my Venus is in Aries, and the ruler of Aries is my Mars. So you can see there's a connection between my fifth house and my self-actualization and creativity, which is the house of Leo, the sun, where we shine in the world. And then we've got the Mars is in Taurus, so I go about things in a steady way, and you know, I'm quite sort of steady and moving forward. And this is the area of work. The sixth house is to do with work and routines and health, so we can see what's going on there. There's a connection. So what does this mean in my life? So we can do this with our own chart. So then if we go to Pluto is in Virgo, and the ruler of Virgo is Mercury, and Mercury is in Taurus, and the ruler of Taurus is my Venus, and Venus is in Aries, and the ruler is Mars. So again, we've got this deep connection going on there between self-actualization and direction of routines, health, business, work. You know, it's to do with work. So then we have Uranus, and we have, that is in Virgo, and the ruler of Virgo is Mercury, and Mercury is in Taurus, and then the ruler of Taurus is Venus, and it's in Aries, so the ruler is Mars. So then we go back here. There's nowhere else to go. So it sort of comes to a full stop, if you get me. We can't go, if we go, Mars is in Taurus, and then it goes to Venus, which is in Aries, and it just keeps bouncing backwards and forwards. There's nowhere else to go with that. So then we take my Jupiter, which is in Cancer. The ruler is the moon. The moon is in Gemini. Gemini, the ruler is my Mercury, which is in Taurus. And the ruler of Taurus is Venus, and Venus is in Aries. And so we go back to Mars, and again, we come to a full stop. So let's do it with the moon is in Gemini. I think we did Jupiter, yeah. So then we got the moon in Jupiter in Gemini. So yes, so I've done that. So let's take Chiron is in Pisces, and Chiron is the wounded healer in our chart. The wound that we come to don't particularly ever heal, but it becomes our gift. So it's the wound that becomes our gift back to the world. And that happens for us when we're about 49 to 51. We have what's called because it takes 50 to 51 years to move around the chart. So our Chiron return, mine happened 2 years ago, and we can see that, you know, it will take another 50 years to move around the chart. So between the ages of 49 and 51, we have what's called our Chiron return, when we really heal something or understand something. It's not that we heal, we understand something about our wound and it becomes the gift to the world. That's the ideal. So it's good to understand what's happening with our Chiron in our chart. So let's take Chiron is in Pisces, the ruler is Neptune. Neptune is in Scorpio. The ruler of Scorpio is Pluto, and Pluto is in Virgo. And Virgo, the ruler is Mercury, and it's in Taurus, and the ruler of Taurus is Venus, and Venus is in Aries, and Mars is in Taurus, and again we have that full stop there. Uranus is in Virgo. Lost myself there. So my Uranus is in Virgo, and we have the same thing going on, leading back to here. So my Saturn is in Pisces, and Saturn is in Pisces in my fourth house, but the ruler of Pisces is Neptune, and Neptune is in my Scorpio, and Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is in Virgo, and the ruler of Virgo is Mercury, and Mercury is in Taurus, and the ruler of Taurus is Venus, and Venus is in Aries, and the ruler is Mars. So we get to see then, my life direction is self-actualization, creativity, shining like the sun, and I do it in a creative way, and it's my absolute need to be creative, and my direction is in my work is in a steady way with my Mars there, my direction. So it's quite beautiful to look at a chart like this. It's just another way of looking at it. So these are my transits today. So you can see when it's your birthday, the sun is right on. Where is it now? The sun is nearly coming up to 1 degree of Gemini, and my sun is conjunct my sun. So the other thing we've got going on globally at our collective chart, the outside planets are our collective chart, but it will be different for all of us where the planets fall depending on our rising sign. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you've enjoyed that. If you want to do this with me and you don't understand it, I'm doing till the end of May and maybe beyond. It depends on what happens with social distancing and lockdown. I'm doing $20 for this period of time. I'm doing charts and we record them, and then you get a copy of it whilst you're talking to me. We record and talk about the chart. So see if you fancy booking a session with me and running through your chart. Anyway, take care. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.